Okay, I used to think that, hold on. Oh, I need more light. Okay. I used to think that freedom was just financial, just making a lot of money. Well, guess what? You can make a lot of money and you can still be miserable. And I tell you this all the time, that true freedom is not just making a lot of money. Let's work on ourselves. Let's do personal development. Let's get free mentally. Let's get free emotionally. Let's get free spiritually. And let's make a lot of money. When you can combine all of those things, that is when you find true freedom. Okay. I am so very blessed to say that today I am free. I am free. I am free from my past. I am free from my past traumas. Emotionally, I am amazing. Mentally, I have never been so sharp. And emotionally, I'm exhilarated. Okay. And I didn't just get like this overnight. Okay. I have worked for my personal development myself for years and years and years and years and years. So it's like, we're doing this. We're about to be manifesting some stuff. We're about to be using the law of attraction. I'm about to teach you how to draw the things to you like a magnet that you want in life. But there's some steps that we've got to take before we get there. Okay. And it all has to do within ourselves. So this is one of those things that while we're on this journey together, we're on our own separate path. Okay. We're going to do some work on ourselves. We're going to do some work on our self-image. Who knows what character defects are? Does anybody in here know what character defects are? Okay. Yep. Okay. Character defects are things in ourselves, in our mind, in our thinking, in our behaviors. Yes. Yes. That we do, that we exhibit. And a lot of them, we don't even know that we have them and that we're acting out on them. And it's these little things that we have that stop us from reaching our true potential. Okay. There are so many different character defects. And even though I have worked on mine so many times and worked on them again and worked on them again, I may put 4 down and replace them with spiritual principles, and I could pick up another one that I don't even know. So personal development is an ongoing journey. So when I was thinking about, I was going to start us on the magic, which is really, really good. But I really feel like, because I remember way back when I had my first success online, what got me started on my manifesting journey. And it was this book, okay, Lazy Man's Way to Riches by Joe Carbo. It was written in the 70s. Okay. And it is so hard to find these books because they are still so widely used. I paid $300 for this book and you can see it's falling apart. Okay. But it was worth every penny. When it was written, you see what they put, $1,000. Now this was in the 70s. So if you can imagine how much $1,000 would be in the 70s, it would be a lot. And it's like, no, this is not the selling price, but guaranteed to be what it's worth to you at the very least and more. Okay. And so this is really what got me started on my manifesting journey. This is what got me started really, really digging in. And I had worked on myself before. I had worked the 12 steps over and over and over and over. And you hear jokes about the 4th step. Well, I mean, it's as brutally honest and as in depth at what a piece of crap you are and have been in every area of your life since way back when. So when I was working through this, I was like, man, this is kind of like a 4th step. Wasn't quite as harsh, wasn't quite as hard on me, but it really it really opened my eyes on things that I needed to get rid of to make room for all the good that was coming. Okay. So we're going to do this together. I have dropped a PDF, and if you're watching the recording, the PDF will be under the lesson. Okay. But it's in the Telegram, guys, if y'all want to go and grab it and save it, because we're going to be working on this. So, okay, I want you to listen to this sentence. Okay. Now you're on your way. Okay. Now you're on your way to having everything in the world that you really want. Notice what I said was everything. I didn't say anything. Okay. There's a very important difference. Okay. If someone were to give you anything in the world, anything that you might wish for, anything, the gift would automatically be limited. Okay. Far more would be withheld from you than given to you if you were just given anything. Does that make sense? Okay. Anything, because what anything means is any one thing. So if someone come up to you and be like, I would give you anything in the world that you want, or I will give you everything in the world that you want, what do you think you would choose? If the world were someone else's to give, that means you would get a tiny fraction of it and somebody else would get the rest. Okay. But to have everything is a promise. It's a promise without any kind of limitation. Okay. And it's an important part of this Dynasite practice that we are about to embark on. Okay. Is that you need to be able to detect, okay, and free yourself from any limitation, okay? When I went over that first line, you're now on your way to having everything in the world you really want. You might have already mentally started to limit what we're about to do. Second nature. It's how we was raised. Okay. It's important that you don't do that. So we're gonna say it again. You are now on your way to having everything in the world that you really want. Think about it. When I told you that, what was your reaction? What was your reaction when I told you that? Did you start to reject the possibility of truth in that simple statement? Did your habit conditioned mind say, not me, no way? Who is Coach kidding? Who is Coach kidding? The smallest possibility that you could have did just that is why we're dwelling on it at length. Okay. Only a fool would accept such a statement on absolute faith without any evidence whatsoever. But, okay, we're talking about a fool, but a wise man or woman without self-limitation would just say, how? Everybody type in the chat, how? If you're watching this recording, say how. How? Okay? Do not be guilty of self-limitation. Do not, okay? Do not reject all of the riches that can be yours by either knowing or fearing that you cannot have them. Ask only how. How, Coach? How? Okay? How can you have everything in the world that you really want? Okay? Stick with me. Keep coming back to these classes. Do the work with me. Go step by step by step. I'm redoing my Dynasite, so I'm doing it with y'all. Okay? because when I was moving, okay, and I don't know where it is right now. I had put it, first of all, okay, when I was moving, I had someone come help me pack my living room and my bookcase, okay? And it was all packed in boxes, okay? But I go walking through the living room and this book is laying in the floor. To me, that was God, universe, source, whatever you believe in, saying, Misty, you've been talking to your people about teaching them how to manifest. Hello, remember this? That's how I remembered that this was in my journey. Okay. So I am totally run by God. God runs my life. I constantly look for his will. And as I am a servant, meaning I am put on this earth to help and serve others. Okay. I knew when I seen this that I had to do this. Okay. I have not done my Dynasite in 3.5 years. Okay. And as I was packing my bedroom, all the notebooks of all the notes and everything I took over the years, I found my old Dynasite and I just started crying because it was so crazy, because when I did it, all the stuff that I had wrote down that I wanted, there was no possible way. There was no possible way with what I was doing, with the money that I was making, that I could have all this stuff. But when I wrote it down, when I made my list, I made it without limitations. Guys, everything that I had wrote on my last Dynasite, I have gotten except for my Escalade. That's coming next. So I just got my house on the lake. On the lake. What? And every little thing, down to my dental work done, to my little bougie new washer and dryer that I got, every single thing that I had written down, not even knowing how I was going to do it, I have received. The Escalade's coming. The Escalade is coming. Okay. So that's just a little personal. That's why we're doing this. Okay. I want you guys, can y'all forget self-limitation just for the moment? Can y'all forget self-limitation? Any limitations that you have put on yourself and what you can have and what you can be, what the world's told you, what's been embedded for you since a child, put it aside for a moment, okay? Can you cast aside failure-oriented doubt long enough for me to teach you how? Put it aside, yes. Yes, that's all that's required right now as we first get started. Okay, take all of your self-limited belief. Y'all can look at me as an example. 4.5 years ago, I was homeless with nothing. And look at me now. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And not only coming up did I have to fight the elements of the world, I had to fight the elements of the foster care system, of the judicial system. I was fighting for my freedom. I was fighting for my life. I was fighting for my children. Okay. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I was fighting drug addiction, getting clean. Get 2%, guys. 2%. When I go to Dallas, I'm getting my tattoo. I'm going to get it right here on my thumb. And I have earned it. And it's going to say 2%, because less than 2% of all drug addicts get clean, stay clean, and make a life. And I feel that by this point in time, I have earned my 2% stamp. Okay. So all that's required, okay, all that's required is you to put aside your self-limiting doubt. Look at me if you have to. Okay. Failure-oriented doubt, we're throwing it out. We are throwing it out. Okay. And you don't even have to believe in anything yet. Okay. But you must not disbelieve the possibility that this Dynasite just might work for you. Okay. Don't have to believe it. Just don't disbelieve it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. What is Dynasite? If y'all have ever done one, you know. And if you've never done one, you have no clue. Okay. It's a code word. Okay. It's a code word that we're using as referencing to the collection of natural laws and truths, which make up this like fantastic success formula. Dyna, because it is indeed a dynamic concept, one which moves you forward with great energy to the achievement of any goal. Okay, it's a source of great power like some giant dynamo creating endless energy, okay? And psych, because of two sciences that are fundamental to this method. Psychology, okay, which we have learned so much about in the last century, okay? And those far less understood natural laws, okay, that is becoming more and more popular to understand. You hear more and more of them talked about. You see more and more of them working in people's lives, okay? And that's understood, the natural laws, the law of the universe, the law of attraction, and that's understood through psychic research, okay? Dynapsych. Did everybody get a new notebook? Did everybody get a new notebook? Dynapsych. The program, study, and practice of achieving success by the planned application of important but little understood natural laws. Amen. Amen. Okay, there could be certain fundamental truths in this approach to Dynapsych, which you've heard before. And I'll be honest with you, every manifesting class, every law of attraction class, every personal development journey that I have been on before and after this, it all has some of the same same principles that are taught in this. Okay, so I mean, it works. Okay. But now you're going to see even these familiar facts in a new light, okay? Because what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you to not only learn them, but I'm going to teach you to apply them to your problems, okay? You knew, okay, that there were automobiles long before you were old enough or skilled enough to drive or repair, okay? However, most of the things that you're going to be learning is going to be new, and some of it might be a little strange to you, but that's going to keep it fun, right? That's going to keep it fun. To help rid yourself of disbelief, I'm going to tell you what Dynapsych has done. I've already told you what Dynapsych has done for me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Dynapsych has done for the man that wrote this book. It's called Dynapsych. I'll type it in the chat. Hold on. Let me tell you a little bit about Joe Carbo. Donna. Did I spell it right? Okay. He says, to put this in proper perspective, you have to be aware of my situation 11 years ago. I was out of a job. My wife and I and our 8 children were renting a ramshackle house in a deteriorating neighborhood. We were driving an old Falcon. Sorry, let me turn this off. That we had to refinance. We were $50,000 in debt. Now, in the 70s, $50,000 in debt would probably be equivalent to about $250,000, $300,000 in debt today. Okay, you got to think we're talking about the 70s here. Under those circumstances, can you imagine how I felt when I was told that with Dynapsych, I could have everything I really ever wanted? I didn't believe it. But I had to admit that I had very little to lose. How many of you have ever been in that situation? My spiritual advisor, she gets on to me, because don't ever say what else can go wrong. You need to start saying what else can go right. Okay. Well, Joe, he had very little to lose. Okay. Maybe that could have been what saved him. He was desperate enough to try anything, even if it seemed foolish and ridiculously easy. Okay. So they were saying that I could have everything I really wanted. Well, I'd put that to the test. I'd set goals that were beyond my wildest dreams. As God is my witness, these are the goals I wrote out during the black days. He calls them the black days. And this is what has happened. The goal he wrote: I own a $75,000 house on the water. Now think about it. In the 70s, that would be like a $500,000 house today on the water. Fact, 3 years later, I bought a home in a marina community for $75,700. With the improvements we added, it's now worth well over $500,000. I know because I turned down an offer for that much. Goal, I drive a brand new black Thunderbird. Fact, within 30 days, I picked up an advertising account. It was with a Ford agency. The manager said the Falcon I was driving was an embarrassment to the agency. He gave me a brand new black Thunderbird to drive. And then a few months later, I bought it for cash. Goal, I earn $100,000 a year. Fact, last year, I made twice that much. Goal, I own several small successful businesses and I leave the actual management to other capable people. Fact, I do. Goal, I own a boat just like Steve Martin's. Oh my God, this book is so old. Do y'all know who Steve Martin is? Do y'all know? Do y'all even know? Am I the only one here that knows who Steve Martin is? Okay. As long as I'm not the only one. Fact, a couple of years ago, I admired a boat that belonged to a friend of ours. Within 30 days, he phoned me and told me he decided to sell it for a fraction of what he paid for it. And I could pay for it any way I wanted. It was so spooky that I accepted his offer. Now we have 2 boats and we paid cash for them. Goal, my bills are paid. Fact, that was a really tough one to say without acting like an idiot. But contrary to my lawyer's advice, because he thought that I should declare bankruptcy, I had a meeting with my creditors. I told them, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. I had a meeting with my creditors. Yeah, I got so excited I must have turned off the phone. Okay. I had a meeting with my creditors. I told them that I wanted to pay them back, but I couldn't concentrate on the effort that it would take to do so without the fear that they would attack my bank account every time I made a few bucks. So they agreed to a repayment program that I felt that I could live with. I never missed a payment. And a few years ago, I paid off the balance in one lump sum. Now, in case you're afraid of the truths of Dynasite, if you're afraid the truths are somehow personal ones, producing rules, like that would only work for the writer, consider this, okay? 7 years ago, I told a young man who sold me a boat dock about Dynasite. I did so because we had become friends and he told me that the company he was working for was going broke and he'd be out of a job. His total assets were half of an interest in a $350 motorcycle. He owed $102 to the bank for a loan, and he had never earned more than $10,000 in a year. He dropped by my office the other day, showed me his original goals, told me about his progress, every bit of which he credits to Dynasite. He reached and surpassed every single one of his goals and has set new ones. Original goal, a salary of $18,000 a year. Fact, he earns $40,000 a year and has stock options in the New York Stock Exchange company that he went to work for. Original goal, ownership of a vacation hideaway. Fact, he owns a half interest in a $100,000 ranch. Original goal, to quit drinking. Fact, he did. Original goal, to own income property. Fact, he does. 2 duplexes. Original goal, to own speculative and growth stocks. He does. $30,000 worth. There's so many people that have rebuilt their lives with the information that we're going to go over and learn and apply to our lives. Okay. And there are lots of other people who, there's a widow in Chicago who's earned $25,000 a year for the past 5 years using Dynasite methods. There's a 70-year-old woman who travels all over the world making all the money she needs, doing only doing what she was taught with Dynasite. The man who works a lot harder than I'm willing to do, who using these same principles made $11 million in 8 years. Fact, it's worked without exception for everyone who's tried it. I'll admit, till now, I haven't shared the secret of Dynasite with too many people because most of the time my only reward would be a patronizing smile. After all, I can see them saying to themselves, it can't be that easy, but it is. Perhaps you're wondering how so many people came to know of these natural laws and learned to take advantage of them. A long time ago in the 50s, key executives of highly successful, really big corporations, begin to be turned on to the very same truths that you're about to receive. No one knows, or at least I have been unable to determine with accuracy, the names of the very first researchers into what might be called the scientific basics of success. But soon a number of costly but high effective classes, seminars, private sessions were being carried on by the people that were practicing it. The price for such services is high, okay? But the thousands of dollars which were paid by the blue chip executives was a paltry fee for the immediate and spectacular success stories which resulted from the application of the secrets they had learned. Needless to say, as is always a secret with power, the men who were fortunate enough to have gained it were in no hurry to broadcast the news of it, okay? They wanted to keep the powerful advantages they had to themselves, you know? So great was the desire for secrecy that most of these power sessions were carried on like away from the executive towers of the big corporations. Small groups, they would like journey to like the mountains or desert retreats for closed meetings. The fees were so high and attendance was already so limited to the top executives, but beyond that, only key people were even informed of the opportunity. Okay. Since those early days, research has continued. The truths which evolved were the result of putting together facts from every phase of human development. And as these findings and research were assembled, certain well-defined patterns of power making for certain success became evident. Those patterns explain why some must win, some must lose, but more importantly, the rules evolved from those patterns. Eliminated losing for those who follow them. Okay. There are rules. If you don't follow them, you will lose. There are rules. If you follow them, you will win. Can you learn to apply Dynasite to your life? Of course you can. Of course you can. Okay. We're about to go on a very, very deep spiritual, mental, emotional journey together. Okay. You're about to discover things about yourself that you never even knew before. Okay. It's going to be an amazing time. Okay. You're going to learn why you haven't been more successful than you have. And then incidentally, okay, you're going to learn why you did the things that you later called yourself a fool for doing. And just as importantly, you're going to learn how to have other people striving to give you what you want. Guys, my vortex is so strong. I have people calling me up. I can't get you off my mind. I think I need to write a book about your journey. I think I need to ghostwrite your autobiography. Okay. Never, ever, ever again. Okay. And I just promise, just stick with me on this journey. Just stick with me on this journey. Okay. Wow, that's not okay. Never again are you going to have to look at a person that is particularly successful and think, God, how lucky they are. Because you'll know that luck or fate has absolutely nothing to do with success or failure. What we call luck is, in fact, a direct result of the correct or incorrect application of natural laws that anybody can use effectively if they know how. Okay. Remember, the power to make things happen the way you want them to happen It's always been available. It's always been available. Okay. You're not going to have to create some new existing source of power within yourself. You're merely going to plug into the existing power. And it's so funny because the way I feel when I'm in my full-blown manifesting mode, we call it the vortex. Okay. When you're in the vortex, you are vibrating on that level with everything you want in life is. The best way that I can explain it is like, you know that movie Avatar, where that thing like comes out of their belly button and they plug into the tree of source energy and they're just like, ah! I mean, that's how it feels. Okay. So you're not going to have to create some new power. Okay. You've got the power. You've got the power within you. Every single person on this call, watching this replay, you have the power. You've just got to learn how to plug into it. Okay. And just got to learn how to plug into it. The forces that I'm talking about that drive Dinosaur, it's kind of like electricity. Okay. Kind of like electricity. There is no man didn't invent electricity. Okay. You may think that he did. Well, what about, no. Electricity already existed in nature. Okay. But think about it, until man learned how to make use of the already existing natural phenomenon, he had no electricity, no lights to turn on in today. Now, any man can perform that miracle with a flick of a switch. Why? Because he knows how to plug into the electricity. You're going to learn to do the same thing with yet another very, very, very powerful source. Okay. But just as electricity can serve man when handled properly, it can injure him if mishandled. Okay. So the forces of Dinosaur, they're raw power. They can work for your good or they can work for your ill, depending on how you use them. Okay. There's every chance that you will learn as we go through this, that you have been causing your own failures. You've been causing your own failures because of a misuse of power that you didn't even know you had. I know that was me. Does that make sense? Some of us have been creating our own failures because we have been misusing powers that we didn't even know we had. Can we be blamed for that? No, we can't. Can we fix that? Make different habits? Yes, we can. Okay. You're taking the first important step by showing up to this class, okay, to undoing past mistakes, okay? So for us to be able to create the whole new life for ourselves, life that is greater than anything we've ever dreamed for ourselves, first we've got to let go of the past. First, we've got to let go of the things that are holding us back. First, we've got to discover those things, because a lot of us don't even know it. We could, have a guess at some of it, but you don't really know. Okay. But you don't really know. Okay. I want you guys to think about this. Okay. And you can write this question down. What represents success to you? In your mind's eye, close your eyes. What do you see when you ask yourself, what does success really mean to me? Are y'all thinking? Are y'all thinking about it? Everybody on this call and everybody watching this replay, okay, your answers are probably similar. Probably not identical, though. Everybody's answers and what they're thinking is probably similar, but definitely not identical. Why I said it at the beginning of this call. We're all on this journey together, but we're all taking separate paths to get there. Okay. when you think about success, it should cover all areas of your life. Okay. All the things which make you feel that make for success in life: work, health, profession, for some love. I didn't even want love, and it slapped me in the face. I was like the most chronically single person. If you asked me for a date, I would punch you in the throat. Get away from me. Didn't even know. For some, it's love, even if you don't know it, tranquility. For some people, it could be a tranquil, peaceful, zen life. For somebody else, it could be somebody with excitement and da 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 da. You plug into the tree and you're it's going to be a different journey for everybody. Okay. It isn't important how your view of success is different from anybody else's, but scientific evaluation and research shows that it is important for you to know what you really want out of life. And you think and you probably do, generally speaking. Okay, we're going to get to the nitty gritty. We're going to get specific. We are going to get detailed. Okay, down to the wire. Okay, down to the wire. Part of the work that we have got coming is going to address that, the exact specific answer to the question of what do you really desire. Why do you need to have a specific inventory of what you want? Because survey shows that no two people out of 1,000 know what they want from life or have any definite plans for achieving it. Okay. The same survey shows that people who do not have such plans, okay, are able to make life pay off on their own terms. Why is an important factor? Okay. It's one of the things that you're going to learn. Okay. Together, I'm going to help, and I'm going to show you how to effectively create the plan. Okay. A specific plan is only one of the factors in success of truly successful people. Here's a list. Okay. Some of the other things that come to mind when we think of people's successes. Okay. I want you guys to, I'm going to read these out. Okay. And I want you, if it resonates with you, okay, select what you feel, okay, is important qualities that all real successes have in common. Okay. If you feel that this is you, write it down. 1, look, the brakes. Let me get I'm doing this with y'all. Hold on. Let me get my. Okay. 1, look, the brakes. Okay. So what quality do you think that you have to have for success? 2, family background. Do you have to come from success to be a success? Generational curses, I broke them, baby. 3, social achievement. Do you have to have social achievement? 4, basic intelligence. Basic intelligence. 5, education advantage. Think you've got to have an education advantage to be a success? Y'all take a guess and put it in the chat. How far do you think I went in school? What do you think was the last grade I completed in school? Just take a guess, drop it in the chat. Eighth grade. Eighth grade was the last year that I completed. Eighth grade. Now, I went on to get my GED later and go to college, but yeah, I had an eighth grade education. Yes, yes. Good health. Is good health something that you need? Something that you need. 7, enthusiasm. Exactly, Kimberly. 7, enthusiasm. 8, winning personality. Do you have to have a winning personality? Well, I know some pretty successful assholes, but I think it would help. 9, real determination. Do you have to have real determination to be a success? 10, plenty of financing. Okay. If you're watching this on the replay, I want you to rewind and listen to the options again for you in the class. I'm going to drop them in the chat so that you can see them. Did y'all get the PDF? And y'all don't have to pick the ones I picked just because I pick them. This is a personal journey. Okay. Y'all go to the chat and look at those real closely. Okay, and pick the ones that you think. Okay. You're wrong. If you picked any of them, you're wrong. Oh, for the sake of helping you learn a truth, okay, which is essential to acceptance of natural laws that lie ahead. I just tricked you. You've been tricked. The correct answer, okay, the other quality which all really successful people have in common, it was not in that list. It was not in that list. Think of that for a moment, okay? Doesn't the list include every factor that we're accustomed to thinking of when we think of success? Isn't the essential quality there? No. Many people have had combinations of the qualities that are listed, okay, and they have failed miserably. Yet there have been people that have suffered from severe handicaps, streaks of bad luck, poor beginnings, little formal education, ill health, shyness, and only, a shoestring to begin with, have ended up being successful beyond their wildest dreams. Okay. What is that second quality common to all really successful people? The first step is knowing what you want. Nope, not even number 9. Not even real determination. Some people have just stumbled and over a rock of gold, or a diamond mine, and become absolutely wildly successful. Okay. Step 1 is figuring out what you really want. Step 2 is the ability to use effectively whatever asset that you have. Okay. Every successful person has overcome his drawbacks by making use and effective of whatever time, energy, money, ideas, whatever that he possessed. Okay. They knew that it wasn't what you had that counted, but how effectively that you used it. A learned man once wrote that there were only 3 types of failures. 1, well-defined goals, and an ineffective pursuit of them. Okay? This is the man that knows where he wants to go, but he just never quite gets there. Failure type number 2, pushes hard, uses every single asset, but they don't have any well-defined goals. This man, he's like a powerful ship without a rudder. He always seems to be making great headway, but never arrives. And failure type number 3, I think, is like the saddest of the lot. He has neither well-defined goals nor is he effective. Okay, whatever your pattern has been in the past, whatever has caused your drives for success to fall short on your desires, okay, your answer lies within these next few classes that we're going to take. Okay, if you do the work, you're going to figure it out. Okay, and I'm going to help you. Okay. Think of your position right now, okay, as you're the owner of a palatial ocean-going yacht, okay? I'm the captain that you've hired, okay? The ship is yours. The choice of where you go is yours. My job is to first suggest the possible destinations, and then when you've made your choice, lay out a course that will take you there, okay? The course, it must stay clear of any hazard that might prevent your safe and speedy arrival, okay? And since you'll want to sail your own ship as soon as possible, we'll see to it that you learn everything that you need to know on this voyage, okay? You're going to be your own captain before we finish, okay? In other words, Dinah Psych promises you with assistance in selecting the specific goals, which are a prime requisite for success, okay? And then shows you how you can achieve the effectiveness which will take you there. What is expected of you? Let's just get this out of the way, okay? I'm telling you what I'm going to do for you. Now, what is expected of you? What you must do in order to make the transition to the successful person that you could be, very little. Very little. When you measure the reward against the effort that it's going to take for you to get it, very little. That's why this study is called The Lazy Man's Way to Riches. The lazy man's way to riches. However, though, because so little is required of you, okay, it does not mean that you can be lazy and haphazard in doing the little things of you that are required. Okay, it's quite the opposite. Okay, it is important that you perform in order to have all of the benefits that Dinah Psych can bring you. The tasks, they're not numerous, they're not difficult. Okay, you have only to RSVP to this invitation. Okay, to wealth, success, and satisfaction. Everybody write RSVP. Okay, it's an acronym. R, read. Write it down in your notebooks, guys. R, read. S, study. V, visualize. P, perform. RSVP. Read, study, visualize, perform. Okay? Read. I must read in order to learn the secrets which will make my life easier. Okay. My success in every field of endeavor certain. Okay. How else but by reading can I receive the truths which come from the natural laws expressed from the Dinah Psych? But see, if I only read, I can't really learn. I didn't learn my lessons in school merely by reading them like I did, like you do the daily paper. Therefore, you must study. Okay, must study the things I read. I must do more than merely apply my eyes to the printed page. I must apply myself, my mind, my ideas thoughts to the substance of the words that we're going over. Okay. By doing this, I will begin to make the power of Dynasite grow within me. Okay. The power comes from understanding, and to understand anything more than the simplest things, one must study. Okay. And then once you're building that power, okay, you're going to apply it. You're going to apply it to your life situations, okay? You're going to get clear outlines, clear blueprints of when, where, and how to apply your newfound power, okay? Like I said, we're about to be learning a lot about ourselves. We're about to be doing a lot of personal development. We're about to be doing a lot of soul searching. We're about to be brutally honest with ourselves. Okay? You're not here for me. You're not here for your other family on this call. You're here for you, okay? So just like anything, you're going to have to be brutally honest with yourself. For this, you must have to visualize, okay? I must cultivate the capacity to visualize in concrete form, okay? Everything that we're going over, everything you must study, okay? I must learn to take a mental or written suggestion and be able to project it like a motion picture on the hidden screen of my mind's eye. Okay? Then they can be mine through Dynasite. Visualization, it's far more than mere imagination, okay? It's more complete. It's more detailed. In short, it has the effect of adding the potential of reality to the unsatisfying dream that's imagination. The man who creates a new and important invention often starts with mere imagination, with a dream. But as his mind ponders the idea, he begins to visualize it, okay, with an ever increasing exactness and detail. He begins to see his invention almost as though it's physically present. Okay? You're going to do this. Okay? It's not going to be easy at first, but the unfolding of what we're going to be doing is just like when we're learning Forex. One step is going to build upon another. Okay? One step is going to build upon another. Okay? So you can reach that plateau. Okay, it's going to turn your dreams into reality, and you can reach it through performance. Okay, the manner in which you're going to perform, we're going to go into great detail in the classes that we're going to have ahead. Okay, you only have to promise yourself that you're going to at least try the outline steps. Okay, the success factor, it's already built in to each step. Okay, this means the scientific basis of achievement. It's been studied, it's been analyzed in order for your Dynasite to be created. Okay. I have only to perform the basic simple steps outlined by reading, studying, visualizing, and performing. Okay. When this RSV is complete, success will be mine. Okay. So now we're going to do you want to y'all want to go on, because there is like a little bit of work that I want you to do for yourselves for before the next class. Okay, we're going to talk about our inadequate selves. Okay, okay, we'll pick up here tomorrow. Tomorrow is where we're going to use the PDF that I dropped in the chat. We're going to start going. Tomorrow we'll start working on our inadequate selves. Okay, or yeah. Okay, so I love you guys. This is an exciting journey. I am so glad that you came, and I'm so glad that you're here. And boy, I can't wait to see where this takes y'all. You're going to be amazed. Okay, so I love y'all.